Right. We are live. Good evening, everyone. Wherever you might be watching from this evening, wherever you might be joining us from, good evening. It's another edition of the Curiosity Corner. Wow. We are here again. Thanks be to God. We were here last month and we discussed talking about love and how to manage emotions, especially with teenagers generally. And today we are here again to conclude that discussion. Right here. So once again, for the sake of those that might just be joining in for the very first time, I am Ulubumi Fred Utite, and I am the founder of Brighton and Build the Teens Foundation. And what do we do basically at the foundation? Empower teenagers in three key areas: education, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, and employability. And today we are here through the platform of the Curiosity Corner to do what? Educate you, teenagers. Right. And this is not just for teenagers, young adults, parents seeking knowledge for their youngsters. And you just out there, you want to gain knowledge, you are most welcome. Yes, so tonight we are going to delve into that topic. Like I would always say, it's a topic that is very dear to me because, a lot of our young people, they are missing it. And this is what we can do to help them to salvage the situation that we are in. There's so much moral decadence, and we are doing our bits. We are doing our bit to combat. So, yeah, before we delve into today's topic, before we bring in our prepared resource persons to dissect this, I'm just going to take us through just a quick recap of the things that we learned the previous edition. So, talking about love, talking about teenagers, adolescents, emotions all over the place, and all of that. Yeah, so what were some of our key take homes? Yeah, so we learned, our resource person taught us, our counselor taught us that love for a teenager is validation. Love for them is acceptance, right? So anywhere they see that they are accepted, that they are validated, they will just, assume that, yes, I can find love here. And that is where parents come in. You must prepare the foundation. You must let them know the true definition of love, right? And we said that we are social beings. We cannot live in isolation. We need people. We need relationships. We need connections, and we will always seek connections. But then, as teenagers, because at that stage, basically as a teenager, the brain is not fully developed at that stage. The part of the brain that is responsible for critical decision making, impulse, controlling impulse, and all of those things is the prefrontal cortex is not yet well developed. As a matter of fact, it's fully developed when you're about 25. So there is no way a teenager can be making like the best of decisions at that stage of their lives. Right. So the brain is not fully developed. They are feeling more than they are thinking. Basically, they are doing more of feeling than thinking. So I don't think that is the stage to start getting involved emotionally. You don't even have emotional intelligence. You don't have emotional regulations. Even as an adult, getting into relationships, all the gbas and breakfasts and every other thing that comes with the package. If you are not even fully prepared, emotionally ready as an adult, it's going to be a mess. Talk less of a teenager. So what should they be doing with their lives at that stage? Personal development, self-awareness, purpose. Have you found your purpose? These are the things that should keep them engaged at that stage. Not love, not yes, your body, your entire being will crave all of those things. Your hormones are all over the place and things like that. But we have been advised to focus on personal development. And you see that if you are busy with all of that, you barely even have time. You barely be thinking about somebody somewhere. Yes, and all of the sweet words getting into your head. Those things are normal, right? But then you are busy. So, I mean, you have enough distractions to distract your. So yeah, it's very much fine. It's okay. So we learned that we should focus on self-awareness, building identity, everything that comes with personal development, purpose. Find your purpose. This is the time to build a solid foundation for your life, right? It is that time. So, yes, there are exceptions. You will see some people getting married 18, 19, 20, and it works. But tell me, they have checked all of those boxes. They have done their assignments. They have tidied up. Yeah. And they are mature in every sense of it. So and you even see that even when they start, even when they get married, it's going to be a bit rocky at the start, and all of those things. There will be a lot of I mean, they will just be finding their feet. So, but then it's just best that at that stage, at the adolescent stage, during the teenage years, you are focused on personal development. And if you must, yeah, have friends. It's very okay to have friends. We were taught last week that it's the last month rather, that it's very, very much okay to have friends. And if it's going to be getting beyond friendships, you should be involving a mentor, you should be involving your parents so that they can guide you accordingly. We see that happen in the Western world. You know, kids, even little ones that are not yet teenagers, they are having friends, they are having crushes and all those things. But it should be done with some sort of guidance. That's what we are saying, so that they are not misled, because there's no way they can make the best decisions at that time. That is just it. There's nothing we can do about that. So here we are today again to conclude on this very, very, very beautiful, delicate, sensitive topic that we are speaking of. And I'm sure that our resource person she's getting in the room right now. So she will be here to give us all of the details, to share with us from our experience and from our wealth of knowledge on how especially teenagers should be managing their emotions. I mean, it's the stage that they are developing, and all of their hormones are in play and all of those things. So how should they navigate this period? Very, very, very important. So yeah, she's in the room and she will be the next voice. Let me see, I think she here already. Let me just confirm. Okay. So
Hello.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So
Hi.
guys, welcome with me, our counselor in person of Mrs. Abodunri Debbie, and
Good
she will be doing
evening.
justice to tonight's topic. So come along, run along with us. You're welcome, ma. You have the floor, ma.
Good evening. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening, ma.
Good evening, ma'am. It's great to be back,
Right.
and well done on the job. Well done on the great work you're doing.
Thanks, ma.
It was a great one last session, which was last month. And we are here to conclude on what we started, talking about love, teenage love, and how to navigate the muddy waters. Is it
Mm.
murky waters now
Honestly,
of
it's
love? All right. And I'm trusting that, we'll be able to do this as quickly as possible. Yeah, so thank you for that recap. It was a great one. I was able to follow up on that recap, and it was a very concise one. For those who were not here the last time, that recap was very, very, apt. And that is to say that, I mean, your teenage years, for every teenager listening, and for parents who may be listening, the teenage years, if they are to be maximized, are not wasted, they are to be used, getting to know themselves. If sometimes it may be tedious or a bit cumbersome or overwhelming for teenagers to possibly look inward, and that is why they have the family, the parents, networks all around to help them, help them to navigate that season of their life, to get to know themselves. Sometimes it takes someone else, an external person, helping one to look inwards for one to be able to see oneself in their actual image. All right. So even though we may say teenagers, your teenage years is for getting to know yourself, discovering your purpose, building self-worth, and thank God for the Tiara Foundation helping at this time to help teenagers navigate this season. All right. But if you find a teenager around you who is finding it difficult to be able to get on that train to get to know themselves, it goes a long way to help them to see, to help them to take those steps that is needed to take. Building self-worth, learning what healthy relationships look like. That is what teenagers are for. They are for learning, they are for loving yourself, even as a teenager. Just loving yourself, falling in love with yourself, getting to know yourself. Because even at that time, you're still on the formation, so to say. You're in the completion stage of your formation into adulthood. So it's very important as teenagers to just get to know yourself. Ask yourself questions. What makes you tick? What makes you sad? What makes you excited? What gets you, alive? Those are the things, those are the questions you must ask yourself. And once you know yourself, it helps you to even be able to know who fits perfectly with that self that you have discovered. All right. And that is why it is important not to just jump into anything. All right. Rather, get to know who you are, and then it will be easier navigating the ship called relationships. All right. So, yes. All right. So I think the next thing we're moving to, as our moderator mentioned, is actually dealing with emotions. How do you now, I mean, we mentioned that emotions are real. It's not that we are saying it's a taboo or you can't have it. For crying out loud, God gave it to us. God gave us emotions and feelings. Even as a young child, we feel, everyone feels, every human feels. All right. So it's okay to feel. It's very natural to feel. In fact, even to feel, to have sexual feelings. All right. It's natural, it's biological as humans. So they are not to be treated as, in quotes, abomination, like it is said in this part of the country. All right. In this part of the world, rather. Emotions are not a taboo. They are not something that are evil. All right. Emotions are good. Emotions are real. Emotions are only natural. All right. But what you do with those emotions is what matters. What you do with emotions will either make or mar. All right. And so, how do you deal with emotions as a teenager? All right. And let me say this before I move on, that the emotions are real, like I mentioned, but they are not reliable. Emotions are fleeting. Emotions can go just like that. They usually, emotions are attached to in the natural occurrence that happens in the body, just like when someone says something bad to you, you feel an emotion either of anger or sadness, depending on what is said. All right. So, and even with that, even with anger or with sadness, you realize that you may feel it for maybe a day, 2 days, a week. It can even go as long as a month or a year. But you realize that with time it passes, right? So that's how fleeting emotions can be. That's how unreliable emotions can be. So it's the same thing with the emotions that occurs with attraction to the opposite sex. All right. So they are real. They only help us to, and I'm going to go into it where emotions, have to do with the hormones that go on in our body, right? So they are just there to help us grow. I think I mentioned part of that the last session. Emotions are created for the body to grow, to develop. The emotions that causes sexual feelings in the body initially started even at a young age to help the body grow. It's just like a girl child already has the hormones in her body that will make her a woman at old age. And that hormone already had been activated from when the baby was born. But at that stage, it is just helping the child to grow, to develop all the body parts necessary for the girl child, which will now translate later, into reproduction and all of that. So the same thing it is with every other emotion, every other hormones in the body. They are there for particular purposes, for physical growth, physical development, as well as organ development. All right. It now so happened that at a particular stage of development, which is called puberty in teenagers, is when those hormones now switch from, dealing with physical development to another stage of development. And that's when teenagers start, feeling sexual urges. And at that time, it just means that the sexual organs and every other organ associated with reproduction are now growing into their fullest form, into their matured form. So I'm saying all of this to say that there's no big deal about all of those emotions that rage. They are just there for the physical growth of the body. All right. So because there's this myth that if God puts it there and we are feeling like this, then it means we should, go along with it. All right. No, I mean, there's this saying that I was going to mention, that emotions are like waves. Just ride them. Don't drown in them. Don't drown in emotions. You can ride the wave, especially when you have an understanding of who you are. I mean, you just know that it's one of those things, just a biological thing. All right. For me at this moment, there are things I need to focus on and just ride the wave. It's just like feeling hungry. You don't go to go and, how do I put it now? Maybe to go and steal because you are feeling hungry. Anyone that does that is punished if caught.
Sure.
Even the scripture says it. Now, if anyone steals anything just because you are hungry, you can go scot-free if you are not caught. But if you are caught, you will pay 7 times. That's what the Bible says in Proverbs.
Sure.
Right? So hormones or that are attached to emotions are just biological. That's all it is. All right. And so we must not pay too much attention. We must not pay too much importance on it to the extent that, we now do things that are not good for us, that are detrimental to teenagers. All right. So it's okay to feel, but do not be ruled by your feelings. All right. And there are ways that you can process your attraction, that you can process whatever you're feeling, whatever emotions that you're feeling at every point in time. All right. And like moderator said, you can find mentors all around you as a teenager. Find mentors around you. Find, worthy adults to mentor you. All right. And you can also journal your emotions. Journal your emotions. You'll find out that the moment you say things out, I think I mentioned it at the last session, that anything done in secrecy, and for teenagers, either it is fair to mention it because, of course, in time past when we were growing up, such topics were shut down. They were termed to be the unspoken kind of discussions. All right. And so once it is shut down, you are fearful to mention it, and then you continue to harbor such emotions, not knowing how to deal with it, and then it grows and snowballs into something that is blown out of proportion because you do not know how to handle it. So just journal it. You find out that by the time you are writing all of those things down, you find out that it's really not a big deal when you look at it in retrospect. All right.
Yeah.
Either you talk out loud to someone or you journal your emotions. And by the time you journal it, looking through, you find out that this person that you're really, going crazy over had one or two things that becomes red flag, and then you be like, and that's how emotions can be, really. All right. So talk to trusted mentors, pray and meditate for clarity. For those of us that are religious, I believe I'm talking to a large crowd of people, right? So just pray, talk to God, talk to your maker. You were created by a higher being. All right. Pray, just talk out loud, have a
Sure.
discussion with God, meditate on circumstances, situations. When you think long enough on something, some things come to you and demystifies anything that seems so ambiguous or something
Yeah.
that looks big, out of proportion. By the time you think over it long enough, leveraging on the values that you have, the standards that you have been brought up with, or the standards that you desire to have, you realize that those things that seem so overwhelming are not really a big deal after all. All right. So I'd like to talk quickly, just to clarify the fact that relationships are okay, but when we are talking about emotional attachment or attractions and all of that, how long do they really last? How long does a teenage relationship last? Because we need to know, these are part of the information that helps you to know that is it really worth it. All right. And I would like to say here that, like Auntie Bumi mentioned, if I may call you that, right?
Very sweet.
It is good that you involve adults in relationships that you have. I mean, like we have said, it is okay to have relationship, even a relationship with someone whom you have a crush on, right? Someone you have a crush on, someone you really admire and all that. Make it open. Don't make it something that is hidden, that is secret, because sin thrives in secrecy.
Yeah.
All right. Bad things thrive in secrecy. All right. Things that are detrimental to your destiny and life. There are many that have gone. There are many whose life has been maimed because they thought, oh, I'm having the fun of my life. I'm the in thing in town. I'm the what's that word now? They are the gang in school. All right. They are the clique, the hottest clique. All right. In school, they are the hottest chicks, and then they're going all around, on top of the world. Many have been bruised, and regretting their ways for life. All right. So even if you have someone you are attracted to, speak to somebody about it. Make it an open relationship. All right. Be friends. All right. While still even having all of those emotions and crush and attraction, be open. Talk, not touch. All right. Have conversations. Have intelligible conversations. Have intelligible conversations. All right. Just gist generally. And you find out that by the time you're just gisting and all of that, all of the giz emotions, they are put at bay because that's not really what matters. Engage in, very intellectual conversations, discuss about life, discuss about, subjects that interest you and all of that. All right. But you need to know, how long does teenage relationship last? The answer to that question is anywhere between 1 day, 2 days, a month, or sometimes the rest of your lives. Now, we have relationships that last a lifetime.
Right.
All right, but those are very rare. And even those that last a lifetime, it may not be that they ended up marrying each other. It may not be that they ended up, being husband and wives. All right. So relationships can be to make you better for the rest of your life. You can have connections that will benefit you for the rest of your life. Networks that when you really need help, I mean, as an adult, you will realize, even when you become an adult as a teenager, you will realize that all of those things you were, worrying yourself over and you wanted to kill yourself over, they're not what matters as an adult. Adults are looking for money. They're looking for how to survive, how to navigate much more complicated stuff than, just attractions and crushes. All right. So that's it. There you have your answer. And because of what we mentioned earlier, emotions are fleeting. They are not reliable. So whatever emotions you may be feeling right now, I can bet it with you, even if it lasts a year, even if you crush for a year, I can almost say that after a year or two, even if you may now jam each other later and continue, it will fade off at some stage. And that is because the hormones causing that raging emotions at that time would over time relapse. Like it will finish the work it is doing at that time. Remember, we mentioned that those hormones, testosterone and estrogen, are working at that time of your life, which is puberty, to develop your reproductive organs. And when they are done with doing what they were meant to do, it goes, it subsides. That's what I'm going to. It subsides for that time and then resurfaces at the appropriate time when you have become an adult to now use it appropriately in a proper relationship when you are now matured. So that is why we're saying that emotions are like waves. Just ride it. Don't drown in it. Don't kill yourself over it. All right, because it's going to pass. And when it passes, if you had misused that time, you find yourself in a quagmire where you cannot retrace back yourselves, your steps, and then it may take you a while to be able to get things back together. All right. So it is important that you know that relationships as a teenager does not last. All right, it does not last, and for those that last, I mean, thank God. But what we are saying is that you need to gauge your emotions. And I can remember at the beginning, last session, the first thing that was mentioned is to label what you're feeling, label your emotions. I mentioned that there could be infatuation, there is crush, and I can bet it with you that sometimes it's actual love. And those are rare. But even with the one that is love, it has to be tested with time. So don't rush into doing things that you're going to regret, or that might even spoil the beauty of the love or the connection that is being felt. Because sometimes it may actually be love, but if you have spoiled it, you have done things that you are jumping the gun, and you do things you're not supposed to do before time, then it is, I mean, it is lost. The love there is lost, because the pain of the consequences of what you have done would, overshadow the love that may be apparently, in existence. All right. And that is just wasted. Whatever the beauty of whatever connection you were having will be lost, because you're feeling a pain that is clouding your judgment. All right, because you had, jumped the gun. I just took us back to say that relationship does not last, and even if you are in one, try to label it so that you can move cautiously. All right, and be able to know what steps to take. If it is just a crush, believe you me, it's going to pass. All right, if it is real love, then you need length of time to process. Be cautious, go a step at a time, have conversations, be open, be friends. Just be friends and just enjoy each other's company. Like I mentioned earlier, you can, what was that thing I said? I said something, you can talk, but don't touch. All right,
Talk, not
talk,
touch.
but don't touch. All right, so that you can enjoy whatever the love that is existing. All right, during teenage and young adult years, there's so much change that is happening, so you don't want to jump into things. There's so much change happening both inside and outside. All right, so the initial stage of an emotion cannot be, usually it's not the real thing, because change is happening. You're still undergoing a whole lot of change. So it's rare for people to fall in love and stay in love as adults, as teens. Even for adults, like Auntie Bumi mentioned, even for adults that are supposed to be matured and have reached the stage where they can make decisions, people fall out of love. Even people that are married, right? We've seen the rates of divorce all around. Even people that are matured, married, they still fall out of love, because these things are fleeting. Emotions in itself, not the real love. Because, I mean, for me as a Christian, I believe that God is love, and God is constant. God is everlasting. He never changes. So the real kind of love actually is strong, lasts forever and ever. But it is not the emotional feeling of love that we are talking about. That is fleeting. All right, and that is the one we are focusing on. All right, so whatever emotional state that you may be in, take time to process it. let it take its course. Let it allow time for whatever you're feeling. Don't jump into doing things. And that's why we said ride the emotions. Don't drown in it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how well to explain that, but that's how much I can say at this time. Whenever you're feeling anything, allow time to pass. Just free yourself from. Don't be over agitated over that emotion. Like, I don't even know how I'm feeling. Relax. The world is not going to. The world is not going to end. All right. And that's why we said we can journal. Journaling is really, really great for such times. All right. Teens find it difficult to think about the future when their physical instincts are overpowering their rational judgment. And that's very true. All right. And that is also still talking about how long relationships can last. Usually, of course, I can understand that the strength of the hormones flowing through a teenager can be overwhelming and overpowering. It is not a teenager's doing to just be, irrational or edgy or anxious and all of that. It is just the work of the hormones. All right. So it can really, really get very overpowering. It clouds the judgment, all right, clouds their instincts and all of that. But that's how much hormones and teenage love can impact the brain and mental health. But there's always help all around, and you can just seek mentorship from. Just talk about it. And that's where parents come in. If you can go to your parents, for advice. Parents should please give their teenagers a listening ear. All right. And that's where at the last session, we're talking about parents validating their children, even from a very younger age, before they become teenagers. If you connect with your children long enough at an early age, it's easier for them to be able to circle back to tell the parents, how they are feeling. All right. And that will help the teenager at that stage to unburden, to be able to, reduce the tension and all of that. So the teen brain is still developing at that stage. And the last part to mature in the brain it's called the prefrontal cortex. All right, that's just all medical gibberish. All right, where that developing stage during puberty. I mentioned that the hormones are helping the body to grow, the organs, as well as some parts of the brain are growing at that time. And as all of that is going on, and the hormones are raging, teenagers are not able to handle all of those overwhelming feelings, and that's why they have mood swings, negative emotions, confusion, even obsessive thinking sometimes, and it can be overwhelming. And that's where parents come in to help. But peradventure a teenager here, you have gone to your parents and you're not helping whatsoever, please find places like this, like the Tiara Foundation, to be able to share your burden and be able to just talk about it, because even though it is helping the body to develop, it can really affect a teenager's mental state. All right, so now let's quickly move to handling social media and peer pressure. I think that's part of what we are talking about. All right, so handling social media, because social media can also influence, how teenagers process their emotions and their attractions and all of that. So everybody's doing couples up and down. I have a boyfriend, and even as a teenager, it's amazing, So there's a pressure to want to couple up. There's a pressure to also want to have someone you can just be hanging around with on the streets, in the corners, just someone to talk to. And then, it looks like if you do not have a boy you are talking to, you are like the geek or the ones that are not beautiful, kind of. And then it's really, it can be depressing. It can really be depressing, especially because as a teenager, you're just trying to find your identity. You're trying to find the connection. You're trying, the teenager at that stage is trying to find a community, a sense of acceptance, all right, a sense of belonging at that stage of their life, wanting to identify with something or with someone. And so it can be quite overwhelming. So I'll say that don't let likes or DMs define your worth. Don't let, every teenager is now on social media now. All of those platforms that is, I'm telling you, I don't know all of those platforms, and I've heard gist about the things that go on teenage platforms. And so it can get overwhelming even for us as adults, going through the social media pages that we have and all that, and you see all manner of things going on. Even adults are having mental health, not to talk of teenagers. So I'll say that don't be pressured by people coupling up. Let me just put it that way. You don't have to be in a relationship, and if you are in one, let it be as open and let it be just with friendship. Sometimes to a teenager, when these things are being said, it looks like you have done your time, Joe. Go, don't tell us anything. Let us enjoy our own time. Okay. All right, let's move quickly to red flags in online relationships. All right, we are talking about handling social media and peer pressure, right? So red flags in online relationships, and most of the time, people fall prey of predators online. All right, because for whatever reason, you have decided not to, have any friendship, any kind of opposite sex relationship with people around you. But then you can be vulnerable when online, all right? Because there's this thing about the anonymity of the person you're not seeing but gisting with. All right. There was a time that I can't even remember. I just thought about it now. I can't even remember mentioning it to anyone, that I can't remember how I got talking with this person. And it was during my final years in the university. And I was just chatting with this person. For the mind of, I can't remember exactly how we got talking, but we got talking, and I can bet it with you that I was gone. I was gone. I was lost in just chatting, just talking, and then we were already discussing how we're going to meet. The guy was just saying the right words. I can't even remember if we met, and I still can't remember how everything fizzled out. But I can bet it with you that maybe within a month or within a week, it has fizzled out. It was all gone. And you need to know, I may not be able to put to words exactly how I was feeling at that time, but I can tell you that I was giddy. At that time, I would tell you that I was in love, but I was not. I was not. It was just an infatuation. And it was just the anonymity, attached to the talk, the chat, the back and forth, and it can always be like that. So many people, many teenagers are groomed, you know, online. People just saying the right words that just gets you emotional and gets you attached. All right. They are called predators. They are preys.
Yeah.
They usually look for the very quiet ones online, or the ones that, you know, there's a way that vulnerability speaks very loud just by your body language. If you post a picture, you say something, there's a way it is you know, communicated that you're vulnerable. So you have to be careful online. So here are some key red flags to watch out for in online relationships. Profile and communication issues. When the profile of the person you're talking about is vague or have inconsistent information, the person is not, you know, does not give his or her full details. You have to be careful. All right. So when information is vague or inconsistent, or their profile or what they tell you does not add up, or it is too vague, then beware. Beware. Anyone that does not have an image, that you cannot see their face, or some people even put faces, really. All right.
Profile.
And then they do not just say any other thing. Maybe they just one sentence, nothing else. You search and search. There's nothing that, you know, that validates who they say, that you can connect together to say, oh yes, this is who this person really is. There are no family pictures, there are no friends, there's nothing. Beware, you should run. All right. Another thing is overly flattering. When someone is overly flattering, just telling you sweet things that your parents have not told you, run. All right. And someone is romantic too early in talking to you. Oh, you are sexy. You're this, you're that. I mean, a reasonable person, someone who is responsible, will not, first of all, point out or mention your physical features. Someone should like you. You should desire for someone to like you for your intellect. All right? To admire you for your intelligence, for your smartness. All right? Not for your sexuality. You are not an object. You are not a toy. All right? So you should, when someone is overly flattering or too romantic early on in your relationship, then it is red flag. Or in your chatting. All right? We are talking about online relationships now. So be very careful. Excessive compliments or the use of the terms like babe, princess, all of those things that just point out mainly your physical features. You should beware. Pressure to move platforms. Some people will pressure you to move out from an open platform where everybody will be able to possibly see your chart or see your profile, for you to now move to a platform that is secretive, a coded platform where chats are encrypted. No one else will be able to see what's going on and all of that. And then, you become a victim of what you call grooming, and the person will just bamboozle you, all right, until you're at the point of no return. All right, so it's very important to be aware. Once you begin to get pressure to move to platforms that is different or that is less secured, you should beware. All right, messaging platforms that are less secured, you should beware. All right. Another thing is refusal to video chats. When you cannot see the person you're talking with, whatever they look like, you should beware. All right, because you should, there's a way you can gauge the authenticity of someone by just looking at them. All right, so most people hide behind audio. If you're online, people hide behind audio to not disclose their identity. All right. So you should insist, if you have to be in a relationship, all right, with anyone online, you should insist to video chat. If there's no, you know, what's it called? If the person is not agreeing to that, you should immediately get that, get the information that it's time to move. All right. They do not want you to know who they really are. All right. Inconsistent messages also is part of it. You feel like you're having two different conversations with one person. Right. When someone is not consistent, there's so much there's so much how someone can lie, if I can put it that way. One person cannot, I mean, you just be caught in that lie.
Time. Yeah.
With time, that person will be caught because the person will be inconsistent. All right. So when you see that someone is not consistent with what they are, telling you, then you know that that person is not real. That person is not for you. So you run. All right. Lack of communication or poor communication. When someone does not respond fairly, the person does not contribute to conversation or does not seem to have time for you, there are red flags for online relationship. All right. And that's for communication. Now for behavioral red flags. Of course, we know this one. This one is very, very rampant. Requesting for money. All right. You start chatting someone today and they start requesting money. Controlling behaviors. I mean, for crying out loud, someone I've not even started my life, and someone is already telling me what to do, like you do not have a mind of your own. So we must be aware, and that's the reason why we said you must get to know yourself, so that you are not pushed here and there. You are not made into something that you're not. All right. So watch out for controlling behaviors. There's some people that are possessive. They get upset if you don't respond quickly, or if you don't do what they tell you to do, or they are trying to just monitor your activities. For crying out loud, you are not my parent. All right. So we must, when we get to know ourselves, when you as a teenager get to know yourself, you know your self-worth. You carry yourself with dignity so that you can recognize when something is out of place. It is those who have low self-esteem that usually fall prey of these things, because already they do not know their self-worth. They do not have a good self-image. And so when someone is sweet talking them and telling them, they're beautiful, yeah, all of that, which will be the least that you yourself know about yourself. All right. And then they will now, once they get you to like them by just sweet talking you, then they can begin. You just realize that they have switched from sweet talking you to controlling behavior, because that's really their true self. They only just wanted to get you into the net before showing their actual behavior. All right. So watch out for controlling behavior. Watch out for disrespectful and abusive behavior. This can include name calling. It can be constant criticism or fault finding, gaslighting you, that hey, you are the one that made me talk like that, you are the one that made me. Meanwhile, it is just them. That's who they are. It had nothing to do with you. All right. So disrespectful and abusive behavior you should watch out for online. There could also be overly eager to meet in person. As much as it is good to be able to see who you are speaking with, if you have to have a relationship online, but then overly eager to meet in person is also a red flag. Pushing to meet too soon, especially in private locations, you should be aware. Beware. You cannot guarantee your safety. All right. So do not agree to meet anyone in person too soon. We're not saying do not meet in person if you have to. All right. But do not it should not be too soon. And even if you have to meet, it must be in an open space, either your house, all right, your house, even if it is in front of your gate, at least you know that people are passing, all right. It should be in your house. And if it is
A
not
place
in your
of your
house,
choosing.
exactly, you should choose the place, all right, because this world is really, someone can even choose an open place, but the person has organized people to be the ones that will, look like the actual people all around. And then you find that you think that, oh, this is an open space, it's not private, but then they're all working together. So be careful, all right? So do not be eager to meet in person. Also, love bombing. The person will just be overwhelming you with too much affection, too much attention too quickly, just choking you with too much attention. What's the matter now? The life is not, yeah, the Yorubas will say, "Aye, yo, pare." That is, the world is not coming to an end. All right?
No,
So when there is too much affection, too much attention, too much, before a genuine connection is established, the person is just, there's a way you just know that this is a fox. All right. So we must be aware of these red flags for online relationships. And what we must do is set digital boundaries. All right. Set digital boundaries for yourself. And this is where parents can help. All right.
Yeah.
When a teenager is validated, when he or she have a quality self-image, it's very difficult for them to get into trouble online. All right. Make sure you have open and judgment-free conversations with people around you. I mean, just set a boundary. There are, for yourself, you should set a boundary that when someone is talking this way with me, that's the end. I do not go further with this kind of conversation. So keep your conversations open. Keep it free of anything. Once that person is now overstepping, you know that, oh, that's the line. All right. So we must be very, very, very vigilant. We must just set those boundaries. And parents can help to keep watch on these boundaries. All right. By ensuring that the model healthy love to the children, to the teenagers. Once a teenager sees what the real kind of love is, they will be able to judge one that is not the same and be able to quickly withdraw when it is needed. All right. So parents should model healthy love and boundaries. Parents to teach teenagers and walk them through their identity. All right. As royalty. Every one person is created with dignity. All right. So teenagers must see themselves as one, a dignified human being, royalty, to be treated with care, not to be treated shabbily. All right. And I mean, the community may not be teaching it, but parents, mentors, guardians should be able to help teenagers to see this and walk in it. Right. And also parents can help teenagers to set these digital boundaries by, like I mentioned earlier, having judgment-free conversations. Judgment-free conversation. Parents should be able to listen out to their teenagers and just try to understand them. And with this, it is easy for teenagers to be able to open up. All right, to be able, before they get into trouble. All right, it's easy for that to be assessed quickly. and the situation turned around before it gets out of hand. All right, so this is to parents who may be listening or who may listen afterward. The home is the first kingdom where values are taught. All right, so without these values taught, teenagers and children are easy praise for either online or physical abuse. There are no two ways about it. There's no other way. When an individual is grounded in their identity of who they are, it's very difficult for that to be shaken. For when they see something contrary to that, they are able to easily move away and disconnect from that thing that does not validate their existing self-image. All right, so the home is the first kingdom where values are taught, and we cannot play truancy as parents. Even as mentors, we must help the teenagers all around us to help them see themselves in the true light of who they are. We cannot overflog it. We have to say it again and again and again and again until it becomes set. We cannot say something once. Even in the big five, the organizations, they rehearse and rehash the cultures and values over and over again until it becomes part and parcel of every individual of that family, of that organization. The same it is with each home. All right, so helping teenagers to see themselves as who they really are cannot be overemphasized or overflogged. So here's my final charge. Here's my final talk. There are royal standards for love. If you really know who you are as a dignified being, as someone who carries value, who is important, who should be reckoned with, someone with self-worth. You are worth something as a teenager. You are unique. You are unique in yourself. No one is better than you, and you are better than no one. All right? So these are the standards for love that you must carry in your heart, such that when anyone falls short of that, you go away.
Yeah.
You just know that that is not for you. That you should not be associated with such person or with such association, with such group. All right? You must value your uniqueness. Value your uniqueness, whether you're short or you're tall or you're big or you're slim. Value your uniqueness. There is a reason why you are short. There is a reason why you're tall or dark or light or fair. There is a reason you are created exactly the way you are. So if you that's why we said you must love yourself first. When you do that, others will be able to value you exactly as you have valued yourself. When you do not value yourself, others will not value you. It's a life principle. When you do not value yourself, there's a way you transmit that energy to others. And you just be saying that people do not like me. It's only because you have not first loved yourself. You are transmitting negativity out there. You are transmitting low self-esteem. It's a what's it called? It's a what's that word? It's a principle. It's like a physics principle. It's a like attract like, Abby. Or is it opposite attract? No, there's that law of opposite attract. And there is also like attracting like. It is who you are on the inside that you attract. When you do not value yourself, ultimately you transmit lowliness, you transmit shabbiness, sloppiness all around. And people just treat you the same way. Right, but when you carry yourself with dignity, when you're confident in yourself, in your worth, in your uniqueness, and you accept yourself for who you are, you'll be so amazed that you just give the energy that flows out from you. People just love it. Everyone wants to be your friend just because you have changed the way you see yourself. All right, so value your uniqueness. Choose your friends and partners wisely. Never settle for less than what your value is, what you stand for. Never settle for less. Don't associate with somebody that is rude or treat you shabbily just because, oh, I don't have any friends. I just want to just have someone to talk to. Never settle. That's why you must draft a value for yourself. All right? Even if you do not have family values that you're following, have one for yourself as a teenager.
Yeah.
This is the kind of friends I would love to have. You know yourself. Who are you? What do you really like? Put down what you like, and then that's the least you can accept from any other person. All right? Know that true love honors, true love protects, and true love uplifts. What does that mean? True love will not put you down. It will not talk down on you. It will not be abusive. It will not, talk to you shabby. It will not treat you like trash. All right? True love wants to make the other person better. Wants to, if you are lacking in an area, tells you the truth. Wants you to just be the better version of yourself. And the true love honors you. So those are the things that we must watch out for. All right? I want to leave this declaration, just something that you can tell yourself over and over and over again, to help you know that you are really worth something and you cannot be treated otherwise. You can tell yourself, I am royalty. I won't give away what is precious to me. I won't give it away cheaply. All right? I am royalty. I won't give away what's precious to what is cheap. Don't exchange your worth that is so expensive. Don't exchange it. Don't give it away for something that is so cheap. For someone that is cheap, that does not place a value on who you are. You tell yourself, I will wait. I will grow.
Yeah.
I will mature. I will guard my heart. Tell yourself that. Because you are worth much more. Let the person, the highest bidder, like it is said in the business world, let the highest bidder be the one to put a price. Someone that places high value on you. Let it be the one who would really win your heart. And I'm saying this to older teenagers who are ready for relationships. All right?
Yeah.
You are royalty. You are worth more than rubies. That's what the Bible says. All right, you are worth more than gold. You are worth more than rubies. And don't give away what is precious for what is cheap. Tell yourself, I will wait, I will grow, and I will guard my heart. All right.
Wow.
That is all from me for now.
Awesome. Wow, that was super enriching. I was just soaking it all in. I didn't even want this session to end, actually. Interesting, so educative, and I believe that all of our audience and those that will watch afterwards will be super. I mean, it will be so enriching. They'll get value for this session. Honestly, it's all encompassing. I mean, teenagers will learn so much, young adults, even adults that, I mean, matured adults that are looking to get into responsible relationships will have one or two things to take away from this. We really want to appreciate you, Ma. I mean, we don't take these for granted. We are so honored to have you here with us, sharing from your wealth of knowledge and experience and wisdom. And I am sure that if we are to call upon you, you always oblige us.
Definitely.
We are so yeah, we are super blessed to have you in our corner. Thank
Thank you
you
for
so
having me.
much. You're most welcome. Thank you to all those who have joined us from the start, even from the previous edition. We appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for staying with us. Would have this, I mean, over time would get the word out there so that you can know what it is to look for every month specifically. So this will bring us to the end of this particular edition on the Curiosity Corner. And on this topic, we are rounded off. Let's talk about love. So you watch out for the next edition, and we're bringing you definitely something exciting, something educating. Please get your teens in the room, get your young adults in the room, ensure that you are following us so you don't miss out on any information that will be posted out there that you can, of course, gain from. So thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we hope to see you in the next edition. Thank you so much once again, Mrs. Aboduni. We appreciate you. We
My
are super
pleasure.
blessed to have you around and always. Thank you,
Bye.
Ma. And we want to, if you are not following us, yes, please follow us. Follow us here on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on LinkedIn. And we would also be having our, if you have questions, yes, basically, if you have questions from the previous editions from this particular one, please send them in. Send them to a message section on the page. There's a message so that at least it shouldn't be a comment here. Just send us a private message, send us a DM, and you can be assured of your anonymity. You can be confident in that would ensure that your image is well protected, and would be here to answer your questions on the forthcoming editions. So thank you so much for sticking around. Remain blessed, and we'll be seeing everyone next month by the grace of God. See everyone next month. So from me, it's bye for now. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.